Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to what might be my favorite episode of Chat Off the Mat Yet. This is Rose, and I'm coming to you today with a heart absolutely overflowing with gratitude as we close out this incredible year together. You know, there's something magical about this time of year, that sacred space between what was and what's yet to come. It's like standing at a threshold, a portal, one foot in the year that we've lived, and one stepping into all the possibility that awaits. And today, I want to stand here with you, reflecting on our journey together and sharing some really exciting news about where we're headed. So grab your favorite tea, settle into your sacred space, maybe even your throne, and let's have one of our heart to heart chats. This year has been one of profound transformation for me. And I know from your messages and emails that many of you have been on your own journeys of growth and discovery. When I think about where I was at the beginning of this year and where I am now, honestly, it takes my breath away. I've watched myself step more fully into my Empress energy, that sovereign power that I've been teaching about. Yes, but also deeply, intimately embodying in ways I've never expected. I've learned to protect my energy more fiercely. I've trusted my intuition more boldly, and I've released what no longer serves me with more grace. And I've connected with an incredible community of women who are doing the same. And here's what I know for certain: that wouldn't have happened without this podcast, without our conversations, and without you showing up to listen, to reflect, and to grow alongside me. Every time you hit play, every time you share an episode with a friend, every time you send me a message telling me something resonated, you're not just consuming content. You're participating in a movement. You're part of a rising tide of women who refuse to be invisible, who are reclaiming their power, and who understand that these wisdom years, well, they're actually our most magnificent years. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being here. Now, speaking of showing up, can we just take a moment to honor the incredible guests who have graced this podcast this year? Each conversation was a gift. Each guest brought their unique wisdom, their vulnerability, and their light to our community. They shared their stories, not just the highlight reel, but the real, messy, beautiful journey of what it means to rise into your power. We've explored everything from navigating major life transitions to discovering your purpose, from healing wounds to creating new possibilities. We've laughed, we've gotten real, and yes, some of us have shed a few tears along the way. To every single guest who said yes to sitting down with me, who trusted me with their stories, and who opened their hearts to this community, thank you. You've helped straighten so many crowns this year, including my own. You've shown us what it looks like to be authentic, powerful, and unapologetically yourself. And that's the greatest teaching of all. Now, I have to talk about something that has completely transformed my world this year. And from what many of you have shared with me, it's touched your lives too. On October 16th, I released my book into the world, Empress Rising: Own Your Energy, Trust Your Wisdom, and Rewrite the Rules of Aging. And can I tell you something? Seeing it finally out there, holding it in my hands for the first time, reading your reviews and messages about how it's resonating with you, it has been one of the most profound and humbling experiences of my life. I wrote this book because I was tired of society telling us that our best years are behind us, tired of the narrative that aging means becoming invisible, irrelevant, or less than. Tired of watching brilliant, powerful, vibrant women dim their light because they've been taught that they should step aside and make room for others. And I thought, no, Absolutely not. Not on my watch. This book is both a revolution and a love letter. It's for every woman who has ever walked into a room and felt suddenly overlooked. For every woman who has been passed over, talked over, or expected to fade into the background. For every woman who intuitively knows that her greatest contributions and most meaningful experiences still lie ahead. The title itself is a declaration. Own your energy because your energy is your most sacred possession. You have every right to protect it, cultivate it, manage it, and decide exactly where it goes. No apologies, no explanations needed. Trust your wisdom because that intuitive knowing you've gathered through decades of living and loving and struggling and emerging stronger, well, that's not something you lose with age. It's something that deepens, becomes more refined, more powerful. It's your superpower. I love that. Rewrite the rules of aging because the old script doesn't serve us. It was written by people who don't understand what we're experiencing, what we're capable of, and who we're becoming. It's also the stories you tell yourself, the self limiting beliefs. We need to rewrite all those beliefs. So we get to pick up the pen and write our own story. We get to be the authors of this magnificent chapter. Since October 16th, I've been overwhelmed by your response. I've received messages from women who found themselves in these pages. Women who've gathered with friends to go through the royal invitations together. Women who've told me that a particular chapter, maybe the one on forgiveness, or the one on protecting your energy, or the one on straightening each other's crowns, spoke directly to their soul at exactly the moment they needed it. Well, that's everything I hoped for when I wrote it. The book explores 8 pillars of Empress energy: sovereignty and personal power, which is claiming authority over your life; transformation and reinvention, embracing change as expansion; self care and nurturing, prioritizing your own well being; intuitive wisdom, trusting your inner guidance; energy management and protection, learning to protect what's sacred; abundance and gratitude, recognizing richness beyond material wealth; forgiveness and healing, finding freedom through release; community and supporting other women, rising together. Each chapter offers both wisdom and practical tools, what I call royal invitations, which are exercises, journal prompts, meditations, and even movement and rituals that help you integrate these teachings into your daily life. And if you haven't yet picked up your copy, I'd be honored to have you join us on this journey. And if you've read it, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know which pillar resonates with you most. Which royal invitation have you made a part of your practice? Which brings me to some really exciting news about where Chat Off the Mat is headed in the new year. We'll still have these amazing guests who will be on to talk about their journey and what they have to offer for others on their personal transformation journey. These conversations with these amazing guests will inspire us, challenge us, and help us see new possibilities. I'm also going to be doing more solo episodes. Episodes where you and I can go deeper into the concepts from Empress Rising. Imagine this. We pick a pillar, right? Let's say intuitive wisdom, and we really dive in. I'll share stories that you haven't heard before, maybe some additional practices that didn't make it into the book, and we'll explore how to apply these concepts to real life situations. Maybe I'll walk you through a specific meditation for connecting with your inner throne. Or we'll work through what actually looks like to set energetic boundaries when you're dealing with that one friend who always leaves you feeling drained. Think of it as an extension of the book. And of course, I'll still be having incredible conversations with guests who embody Empress energy in their own unique ways. Because there's not just one way to be an Empress, there are as many ways as there are women claiming their thrones. We're I'm also going to be unveiling a new podcast cover and tagline that better reflects where we're going and who we're becoming together. Because that's what we do here, right? We step off our mats, whether that's our yoga mat, our meditation cushion, our throne, or our comfort zone. And we have real, honest, vulnerable conversations about what it means to rise into our full power. We talk about the practices, yes, the meditation, the movement, the rituals, but then we chat about how to actually live this stuff, how to apply it when your adult kids are driving you crazy, when you're navigating menopause, or when you're starting over after loss, or when you're finally going to have that dream you've been sitting on for decades. The mat is where we prepare. The chat is where we integrate. And I cannot wait to dive into this new chapter with you. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something practical because an empress is both visionary and grounded in action. And as we move through these final days of the year, I'm inviting you to create some sacred time for reflection. Right? I'm not talking about like writing down your goals for next year and thinking about what's ahead. I'm thinking about pausing, taking time for yourself, being gentle, honest, compassionate. Reflect on some of the practices that you've done over the past year and decide what resonates with you and decide what needs to be let go, what needs to be released, let go of. And allow yourself to gently think about planting those seeds for what's yet to emerge. Let's transition through this season slowly and mindfully and hand in hand as we move into the new year. Here's a simple ritual you can do. So you can do this all at once or you can spread it out over several days during the holiday season. There's no right way or wrong way, just do what feels right. So you give yourself about 15 or 20 minutes of uninterrupted time. You put your phone on airplane mode, and yes, the world will survive without you for 20 minutes, I promise. Just light a candle, make some tea, sit in your throne, wherever that is for you. Maybe it's your favorite chair, maybe it's a cushion on the floor, or a special spot somewhere in your garden if it's still warm where you live. Play soft music if you'd like, or just sit in silence. The point is to signal to yourself that this is your time, your sacred time, that you're creating a container for honest reflection. And then just take a few breaths, deep ones. Let yourself settle. Think back through the year, not with judgment. This isn't about beating yourself up for what you didn't do or what you didn't accomplish. Actually, it's quite the opposite. It's about honoring what you have done. It's about noticing with curiosity and compassion. What moments made you feel most alive, most like yourself? When did you feel your power? What brought you genuine joy? Who showed up for you when you needed it? What challenges did you face that revealed your strength? Write all these things down and really dig deep and really be honest. These are your gems, the jewels in your crown that you earned through living this year. And here's something important. Don't discount the small moments. Sometimes it's not the big milestone. It's the Tuesday morning when you felt the sun on your face and realized you were exactly where you needed to be. When you look up during the day or in morning and you see the moon up there and it's winking at you, telling you it sees you and it has your back. And it's that gentle yoga class that you decided to take versus that hot, intense yoga that changes your energy, right? All these little things that you do. They're all part of your inner reflection, your grace, your strength, your journey, your value. Now, with the same compassion, ask yourself, what am I really ready to let go of? What do I want to release? Maybe it's a pattern that's been holding you back. Maybe it's a belief about yourself that no longer is true, even if it ever was true, right? Maybe it's something you think is true, but or someone else thinks is true, but let it go. Maybe it's an energetic cord to a person or a situation that's been draining you. Maybe it's the need to please everyone, or the habit of putting yourself last, or the voice that tells you you're too, quote unquote, OLD, too late, not enough. Write these down on a separate piece of paper. Then, and this is where the ritual becomes real, you're going to release them. You can do this in whatever way feels right. Some women safely burn the paper in a fireproof bowl, watching the smoke carry these things away. Some tear it up with fierceness, right? And just throw it out. Some simply read what they've written out loud and then say, I release you with gratitude for what you taught me, and I let you go. Remember, this isn't about forgetting or pretending these things didn't happen. It's about freeing yourself from carrying them forward. There's a difference between remembering and being bound by something. Forgiveness of others, of circumstances, of yourself is liberation. Okay, this is my favorite part. Now that you've honored what was and released what's ready to go, you get to dream a little bit. Not in the I should do this or I have to accomplish that in some way or whatever that is, but in the what lights me up when I think about it. I love that term. What lights you up? Ask yourself, what am I curious about? What would I love to learn or try to explore? What makes me feel excited when I imagine it? What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? What does my intuition keep nudging me toward? If I were to fully own my energy, trust my wisdom, and rewrite the rules, what would I create? Who would I become? Write these down. And here's the key. You're not making concrete goals or rigid plans. You're planting seeds of intention. Think of it like this. When you plant a seed in the garden, you don't dig it every day just to see if it's growing. You just plant it, you water it, you give it a little light, you may talk to it a little bit, and you trust the process. These are your new moon intentions for the year ahead, or whatever your intentions, right? Your seeds of possibility, your portal of possibility. Put this list somewhere where you'll see it. So your mirror and your journal and your phone's home screen, and then let these seeds stay in your awareness so they can grow. And remember, you don't have to do this entire ritual in one sitting. You might spread it over several days, or you might return to it throughout the holiday season. You might do the gratitude part today and the release part next week, but the key is giving yourself permission to pause. I love that word, pause. To reflect and to consciously choose what you're carrying forward and what you are calling in. This is Empress work. This is how we rise. Before I let you go, I need to say something from my heart. To all my loyal listeners, whether you've been here since episode 1 or you just found us last week, thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your emails and messages. They make me happy and cry at the same time. I love them all. Thank you for your vulnerability in sharing your own stories with me. Thank you for the ways you've supported this podcast and my book. Thank you for straightening each other's crowns in our community. This podcast exists because of you. It thrives because you care enough to listen, to reflect, to grow, and then to share it with other women who need to hear this message. You are the empresses I wrote this book for. You are the women I sit down to record for each week. You are the reason I do this work. And I want you to know something. Your presence matters. Your wisdom matters. Your voice matters. You matter. Not because of what you do or how much you've accomplished or how many people you take care of, but because you exist, because you're here, because the world needs exactly what only you can bring. As we step into this new year together, I am filled with excitement for what's to come. New solo episodes diving deep into each pillar of Empress Energy, new conversations with incredible guests who are living this work in their own ways, and new tools and practices to help you claim your throne. New ways to connect and support each other, and always, always the reminder that that your wisdom years are your power years. Before our next episode in the new year, here's what I would love for you to do. Take some time to do that reflection ritual that I shared with you, even if it's just 10 minutes with your journal. Honor your year. It deserves to be witnessed. Second, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed or following the podcast so you don't miss any of the new episodes coming in the new year. Third, if this podcast has meant something to you, would you take a minute to leave a review? It truly helps other empresses find us. And when we gather, we rise. Fourth, share this episode with the woman in your life who needs to hear this message. Maybe she's struggling to find her voice. Maybe she's feeling invisible. Maybe she just needs a reminder that her best years are not behind her. And if you want to learn more about Empress Rising, connect with me outside the podcast. Head over to my website, rosewippich.com, and join the community. I'd love to hear from you. A final blessing to you, dear Empress. As you move through these final days of the year and into the new one, I want you to remember this. You are not diminishing with age. You are expanding. You are not fading. You are in full bloom, or better yet, still blooming. You are not becoming invisible. You are becoming even more radiant. You have earned your wisdom through every joy and every challenge. You have gathered your power through every choice to keep going. You have claimed your sovereignty simply by deciding it's yours. Your throne awaits. Your crown is ready. Your wisdom is needed. The world is waiting for you to rise. Thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for rising with me. Thank you for being exactly who you are. Until next time, until next year, stand tall, straighten your crown, and remember you are an empress. This is Rose, and I'll see you in the new year.